Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my mind. Today, I have quite a few things to talk about, lots of insights going on. Um, the first one is that basically I was chatting with one of my friends from university, and basically at some point he interned at the same company that I currently work at, and then he went to do his PhD, and now he's almost over with his PhD, which is a bit crazy to think about. It's been 3 years, and like we were like he interned. I don't know. We had 1 month overlap on our internships. So he started his internship like 5 months before me, and I started 5 months after him, I guess. And we had 1 month overlap. And ever since, like basically after his internship, he went on to do a PhD. So now he's completing his PhD thesis. And he's starting to look for jobs, and he's considering applying again to the company that I currently work at. And basically, I just got super excited about this idea of having my friend come back. And at some point, I thought, okay, I wish all of my friends from university came to live here and work at the same company that I work at. How cool would that be? And for a moment, I just got super happy at this idea, and that's when I realized how much I actually missed my friends from my French graduate school. Yeah, honestly, like so much nostalgia. Obviously, I think probably it will not be the same as it was back then, but these people, I absolutely love them. Like they have such a special place in my heart because that was such a special time for me. And I really miss them. Like, I just got so happy at the idea of us being in the same town, around each other, around some sort of college campus, which would be the company. But oh my god, that would be freaking amazing. Like, I'm manifesting that. Hopefully, somehow the stars will align and we'll all end up in the same place, at least for a little while. Because basically, since like my last year of school, I went to Georgia Tech, so I didn't share it with them. Like, I just felt that, like even when I was in Georgia Tech, I was already missing them. All of my friends from the French graduate school. And basically, I never got to get back in that mood where I was around them. And yeah, I think those were probably some of my favorite moments so far. And I hope I get to get more moments with these people because they're genuinely amazing and super cool and super ambitious and super intelligent and genuinely kind and caring, and they like me for who I am. They liked me before I got to where I am today, and that's something that's extremely valuable. And yeah, it's just like I don't know. I just have so much appreciation for these people, and I miss them a lot. So yeah, like for a moment, I got to daydream about that. Who knows? Maybe the stars will align, and that will come back to become reality. I'm praying that it does, but that was just an amazing idea to think about, and it just got me very, very optimistic. Also, I think I also was in the mood for that today, basically because I've been listening to some rock music, which is, believe it or not, I used to listen a lot to rock music, like not necessarily, I don't know, hardcore anything, but like just a bit like Coldplay, Imagine Dragons. Like it just took me back to those days, and that was exactly what I used to listen to. And that's actually like listening to this music again just makes me feel like myself back then, and like I think it's my deepest self, because that's when like I was the most like optimistic and hopeful, and I love that version of myself before, you know, all of the hardships that came after that with COVID and everything. But I love that version of myself. And listening to this music and thinking about these friends, I don't know, somewhat takes me back to that version. And like also that version is like a bit closer to my inner child than the version that I've had over the past few years. So that's probably why I love that period of my life so much. It was just genuinely amazing. Like it's the period that I think. I mean, not just to be focused on the past, but it genuinely was an amazing period of my life, and I'm super grateful for that one and for the people that I've met while I was there. So yeah, like just super cool. Also today I made quite a bit of progress on this project that I'm working on. I'm really hopeful about this, and it's like it's starting to come to life, and I can see a path forward, especially for the testing part. I can see a way to get there. So I'm super happy that I got to this point. It was not easy, honestly. This is a project that I've had at the back of my mind for the past year at least. And I'm so glad that it's finally getting done, and hopefully pretty soon I will get it out of the back of my mind. And basically, like this got me thinking about my style of work, which time and time again has proven to be more of a hackathon style. Uh, like basically, I'm not able to work, like especially when it comes to work stuff like or like engineering problems or solving problems and things like this. I'm not able to work like do one thing every day. Uh, I like it a lot when I do like I work very intensely for a period of time, but then the rest of the time I don't work as intensely or like not at all, and that's what works for me. And I'm just learning like I've like even when I was in university that was exactly how I worked, and I think that probably has impacted my habits up until now, especially for work that is not my favorite thing, which is the case for this project. But I mean, I'm learning to love it. Like I don't want to make that like something to block me, because I think that played a role in me procrastinating on this project for so long. But yeah, I love this. I love having actually really aggressive deadlines, and this is just how I work. Um, so I guess the best thing that I can do is just learn to use this to my advantage. And yeah, uh, it's something that it's a pattern that I'm finally starting to accept, given that it has reoccurred so many times in my life. I think for other things, like whenever I'm working on machine learning, I'm okay with not like I'm able to be more consistent uh, and work. I mean, honestly, who am I kidding? That's not true, because when I was when I was preparing for the applied science interviews, that was not at all the case. So I have no idea. Yeah, I really don't know. I think the thing that I'm trying to reconcile is about this thing like that I'm trying to implement in my life. about consistency being more important than effort. But I don't know, I've just found that working intensely for bursts, like over some bursts of time, like and not working like just bare, like doing the bare minimum most of the time, is exactly how I'm able to get the results that I get, and like do all of the thinking that I get. Because actually, it's not that I'm doing the bare minimum, it's that I'm collecting data. And I think basically how I work is that I spend a long time appearing to not have made progress, but over that long time, what I'm doing is gathering data from my subconscious mind to just really build a model of how things work, like what are the dependencies, and like just add more data into my brain. And that looks like nothing is happening when I'm doing that, but it's not the case. And actually, the outcomes come at the very last period when I leverage all of that data that I've gathered and apply it to reach the outcome. So it's very much step function, like it has the shape of a step function. So almost nothing at the beginning, and then all of a sudden there is something. And like when your expectation is that things will happen linearly, like from the moment that you start working on something, you make a bit progress, and you don't, like it's the case for me, then it's very, I would like, it makes me question myself a lot. And like during this whole period where nothing is produced, it's just like such a stressful period for me, because I'm in such doubt about myself, and feeling terrible about this period where it's actually data collection. And I think there is obviously like a middle ground here to be found. Like, how do I optimize for this period? Because I do think that sometimes I drag on this period longer than I should have. So I want to find a way to, like be able to estimate what's the right amount of time to spend in this exploration phase before I get into the action phase. And some people would argue that you should actually get into the action phase immediately, but that's not how I work. I mean, this also can sound like excuses, obviously. But I think, like, that's my biggest weakness, but it's also what allows me to get such a deep understanding of things, is that I don't jump into action immediately. And I take a long time to really understand things. And for people who, are much more biased to action than me, it can be frustrating. But I think over the long run, like I know over the short run, like the short term, the bias to action approach is the most successful one, because you are able to make some semblance of progress. But the approach that I'm taking is an approach that's built on longer term understanding. I'm trying to build this mental tree that I have, that's basically knowledge that once like it's very hard to get knowledge in there, because it takes a lot of exploration, lots of learning, lots of upfront effort that does not show. But the advantage to that is that once some piece of information gets into this brain, or gets, like, I'm able to distill it enough, because I've taken so long to explore and understand things, that pretty much I can I can retrieve it pretty fast, and I don't really need to really re-understand what's happening because I've already built a mental map of how things are working, and I've distilled it enough in my mind that I won't struggle again with this. And it's like a really really long term learning approach that I've used. That like if I look back, I've used in my class préparatoire because basically like I remember feeling bad about like basically since in class préparatoire and like you have to study everything for basically the exams, but you also have like exams within your school every week. And basically, I had made the deliberate decision to spend a long time on each chapter because we had new chapters every week. So it was very intense. We had exams every week, like 4-hour exams most weeks, and oral exams every week. 2 oral exams every week, which is like if I think back at that, like I think that was pretty crazy. But what I did and what allowed me to get into the school that I got into is that basically I refused to play the short-term game that the teachers were trying to make us play, like optimize for the next exam, optimize for the next thing. I was always optimizing for the final exam, which was going to be at the end of the 2 years. And optimizing for that meant that I would spend a long time on dissecting and trying to understand the intricacies of each chapter that I needed to understand. And that took a long time, way longer than I had to prepare for the exam. And so basically that would mean that some exams, like I was not prepared at all because I was studying the chapter before that exam because I was not done with it yet. And basically the teachers were always underestimating me because they could not see all of the work that I was doing, just because they were focused on the short-term results and could not see that my inputs were in the right place. They could not see that I was trying to gain a deeper understanding of things. And this is like, now that I think about it, this is something that's happening to me right now, is that basically it's not visible, this exploration and understanding work that's happening before I start taking action. And that's something that I'm trying to lean into more because basically, like as I've talked about before on this channel, I'm committing to actually focusing on just a few things and doing them to the quality that I see in my mind. And to be able to do that, I need long-term thinking and long-term patience. So I need to be okay with giving myself the time to explore and to think and to doubt myself about, maybe not potentially not being able to do something, because that's what allows me to basically be really exhaustive in my exploratory data gathering phase and not immediately jump to the first solution that I see, which is what people who are biased towards action usually do. Even though that's something that's good over the short term, like it's what will get you some money quickly if you need some money. It's what will give you the fastest results, but they won't be optimized for long-term growth and for basically reaching your potential. And that's actually what I'm optimizing for. So yeah, that's what I have been thinking about. And yeah, it's about it's almost 4 a.m. It's 3:41 a.m. I think now is a good time for me to go just get a nap or something, get some sleep. I think it's not going to be very deep sleep because I've had quite a lot of coffee today, but I'm super happy with how the day turned out and the progress that I've made. And yeah, I look forward to making more progress on this. And yeah, just optimistic about this project and my ability to execute it. So yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in today. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, so the one right before this one, or you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is, where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!